So, when I was like 14, 13, you remember those old MP3 players? Like the iPod was around, but you would be able to get these MP3 players from like Walmart or any tech store for like $50. It wasn't super expensive. Anyways, my dad had one of those and he had a bunch of rock songs on and metal songs. He liked that kind of stuff, which I never really understood, but to each their own. But there was one song I found on there that really struck me. It stuck with me for a long time until this day. And the song was called Pain or Pleasure. And the chorus would go, pain or pleasure, there's no distinction. You will see someday. And I'm near 30 now, and I see it. I see what that song meant. I didn't understand at the time. And, I hung on to those words that you will see someday. But here's my experience. The things you go for that give you pleasure, every time, it might not be instantly, it might not be a year later, it might not be a few years later, but every time there is pain that comes from that pleasure. So really, pain or pleasure, there's no distinction. You might be pleasurable at first, but eventually it always turns into pain. And that's how an addiction is formed. So something I'm exploring these days is, something from the Bible, but it also just applies to everyday life. It's about denying and rejecting your temptations, the things that give you pleasure, in return for satisfaction and internal satisfaction and reward later on. So you deny these things that will give you pleasure to be rewarded after. So that's the trade-off. You can get that instant reward, the instant gratification right there, that pleasure, which always comes back to pain no matter what. Or you can deny it right there and know that you have better things coming your way, more rewards coming your way. So apply that a little bit into your life. Reject these different temptations. Sex, caffeine, smoking, whatever form of smoking it is. I'm just talking generalizations here. Lust can go with sex, all these different addictions, that will give you pleasure right there when you indulge in them, but every time it goes back to pain no matter what. That's what you end up with. So try that out. Something I found from this experience is I've been feeling this joy and happiness that comes later on that I felt as a kid, as a child. It's really hard to explain, but when it hits me, I know it's that childlike bliss. So don't just view this video and ignore what I'm saying. Give it a shot. What do you have to lose? You can always go back to those pleasure things that will give you pain. It's not going anywhere. But try abstaining from these different things. From caffeine, coffee, energy drinks, from approaching women or men, whatever you're into, from constantly trying to give your game, shoot your shot. Try abstaining. You will see what kind of good things come your way. And they don't come instantly, but that's the whole point. It takes work. Try that out.